Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. Wait a second. All right, let's do that again, Zach, because that's not right. Yeah, just go ahead and redo the open if you could. Can you hit it again?
Right from the beginning.
Right from the start. Whole thing.
Yeah. Right where it starts.
Goes a little something
top
like
of the hour.
Like this. Did it disappear? Is it off the computer screen now? Did it?
I'll just copy it back.
Right.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
There you go. How could I have forgotten? I was just thinking about it. I don't know, 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes. Man. All right, 888-900-3393. You distracted me by talking about somebody knocking Joe Rogan off the
Meghan Markle. We were
number one.
We were talking about
podcaster.
Zuckerberg on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yes,
because we were saying Zuckerberg is such a wimp. He won't come on this program.
Right,
scared, running scared. Mm-hmm. So he goes to that wuss Joe Rogan, who has nobody listening to him.
Right,
and
other than 11 million people a day. Other than that,
that's it though.
Yeah,
that's it. And,
it's not 100 million.
But Markle,
Meghan Markle beat him?
We mentioned her new podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
Important for women and stuff, and that one took over Spotify's number one spot.
Wow!
But I'm sure Rogan is slapping her back down with the Zuckerberg interview.
Yeah, probably. Also, Spotify, you got to add them all up to figure out who's number one.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's not, except in Rogan's case, because he's exclusive to Spotify.
The one story I read talked about a couple other times when a specific podcast would knock Rogan off of number one for a short time. You know what I mean? It does happen, but it's rare when it does. And then Joe battles back with an interview, say, with, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Had him for the full 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a long interview.
Jeez.
I watched about 20 minutes of it. And
Was it interesting?
Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of it. Here to play if you want to hear it. He talks about how the FBI came to Facebook and wanted them to not allow the Hunter Biden story. They come to Facebook all the time with, hey, this is just a possible security issue.
Do they come to him all the time?
And he was saying that how Facebook is different from Twitter because Facebook didn't ban it. They just slowed the algorithm down a little bit. So it was tough to share it.
It's interesting, though, because the same thing that happened to MySpace is now happening and has been for a couple of years happening to Facebook. Right? It's not the hip, cool thing anymore for the kids.
Well, but I mean,
the youth are all on Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
Yeah, TikTok and Instagram. I think Snapchat's kind of gone away too. And isn't that Facebook?
They're still hanging in there. Yes, and so WhatsApp. Is
everything
still
Facebook is kind of old and
although
uncool.
I mean, he is pushing Meta and the VR world.
Yeah, he
huge,
is.
and it's fascinating. I mean, I love it. I want to do a Chewing the Fat show in the metaverse.
That'd be fun.
It would be. It'd be awesome. I mean, people are making money already from the metaverse by selling clothing and jewelry and all kinds of stuff inside the metaverse for your characters inside the metaverse.
Yeah.
You can't walk around naked. That's insane. You can't, but why would you?
Why would you?
When you could wear Gucci.
Yeah. Well, the metaverse looks stupid to me so far. I mean, what I've seen of it is like, it's not really.
No,
it's not there yet. It doesn't seem like it's there yet to me. With the avatars,
Oculus with all the different events you can do is pretty.
And Oculus is owned by Facebook.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, but it's been amazing to watch the transition and what's hip and what's cool. With the college kids and all that.
And I found it fascinating during the Zuckerberg interview, and we can play the clip here where he talks about the FBI. But throughout what I saw, and I watched about 20, 25 minutes of it, he spent a lot of time saying, hey, he likes the word governance, and he likes to say, look, it's not me. I've created this board over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not banning anything. I'm not doing anything. That's them. We've in my thinking of governance, I've given it to them. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, Mark. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
But here's him with Joe if you want to see it.
All right, yeah, well, since we got off on this tangent, we might as well play it. We got the Biden stuff, though, from
Which
yesterday.
Is awesome.
The speech is awesome, and you don't want to miss it. We'll get to that in a minute, but here's what Zuckerberg had to say on Rogan yesterday.
How do you guys handle things when they're a big news item that's controversial? Like there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
Yeah, we had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. Basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like you should be on high alert. There was we thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. No. What we do is we have if something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program because we don't want to be deciding what's true and
always.
false.
Mm-hmm. Always not me.
For I think it was 5 or 7 days when it was basically being determined whether it was false. The distribution on Facebook was decreased, but people were still allowed to share it. So you could still share it. You could still consume it.
Can we say the distribution
Pause it for a second.
decreased?
This is why conservatives mostly don't even bother with Facebook anymore, because the
distribution was
the distribution.
We cut
what
back
he
on the
just said, they cut back on the distribution. So rather than, in some cases, having millions of people see it and share it and all of that,
10.
You might get 10, or you might get 1,000. Whatever it is, it's just not worth it. I think the record for distribution on one of our clips is like 11 million. You couldn't get anywhere near that now. Couldn't get it because they shut it down. They stopped it. They squeezed it all off.
Well, with our independent fact checker.
Yeah, with the
my way of governance.
Misinformation and disinformation. And if it's important information, we have to determine, well, somebody, not us, but somebody else determines whether it's misinformation or disinformation. Right. All right, let's see what else he had to say here.
Distribution is decreased.
It got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So
a little bit less.
People saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely...
By what percentage?
Definitely.
I don't know.
By what percentage?
Head,
Great question.
It's meaningful.
I don't
know.
But
basically,
it's meaningful.
I don't know.
That's a meaningful statement. That he admitted it's meaningful.
I don't know the exact numbers.
I don't know. 90%. I don't know. 95. I know it's meaningful. It's a little bit. We slow it down a little bit.
We didn't completely ban it.
No, we didn't stop it. That's what Twitter does. We just shut it down 95%. So rather than getting 1 million views, they got 10,000 views.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Right. I know.
And that's not even worth doing, really. In the scope of what we do.
Right.
So that's why when you go to my Facebook page, I think the last thing I Facebooked about was something from Hillary Clinton in 2017. It's been a while.
Yeah, the Blaze.
It's been a while.
The Blaze,
but the Blaze
all
does
the time.
Yeah. But here's what else.
Some of those videos may have limited distribution.
May. It's meaningful. Okay, it's meaningful.
On the limit.
Yeah. Was he done?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's meaningful. But basically,
I love that.
A lot of people are still able to share it. We got a lot of complaints that was the case.
Well,
you know, obviously
20
this is
people's a lot. That's a lot.
Political issue. So depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough or censored it way too much. But we weren't sort of as black and white about it as Twitter. We just kind of thought, hey, look, if the FBI, which I still view as a legitimate institution in this country, it's like very professional law enforcement, they come to us and tell us that we need to be on guard about something, then I want to take that seriously.
Did they specifically say you need to be on guard about that story?
No, I don't remember if it was that specifically, but it basically fit the pattern.
Oh,
all right.
So interesting. That's actually reported a little wrong then.
Yeah, it is.
Because at the end he says no.
Yeah, I don't know. No. Yeah, in fact, he did say
the
no.
Profile the story fit the profile.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep.
Interesting.
It is. That is. And the Russian disinformation and misinformation and the Russians stealing the election in 2016 is all bogus garbage. Now that's but that is still promoted by the left. Whereas if you say anything about the 2020 election, that's the big lie. I mean, it's amazing how they control the narrative in this country. It's absolutely incredible. Because how many times, and we showed you yesterday, maybe it was the day before, how many times Democrats have called the election a fraud? Mm-hmm. Every single time they lose, they call it a fraud. It happened in 2000. It happened in 2004. It happened in 2016.
We gave them a 10-minute clip, and that's
over and over and over.
That's with limited distribution,
right?
10-minute clip.
Yeah, and we only played 2 or 3 minutes of it, but there's 10 minutes of Democrats denying the election, and several elections actually, but especially the last time a Republican won. In 2016, they absolutely say the Russians stole it. The Russians didn't steal the election for Trump. If they did, why didn't they do it again in 2020? All of a sudden, they fell out of love with Trump or what? Why, if they stole the election in 2016, didn't they do it again in 2020? Strange, isn't it?
It is strange.
That's strange.
It is strange, isn't it?
Very, very strange.
Now, last night, President Biden spoke in Maryland at a fundraiser in some gymnasium somewhere.
Big rally that he had.
Sure, you want to call it that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a
big
rally.
Big rally in a gymnasium there in Maryland. But I believe that, we've got a lot of clips from it, and there's some really good stuff, and I feel like I'm going to win you over from your statement yesterday that
he shouldn't be president.
I think I'm going to convince you that
really?
He should
be. I bet you will. Yeah. I think there's a real danger of that.
Well,
yeah. That's how good he was yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start with for decades.
We can, or we can start with him actually admitting that he stole the election.
All right, let's start there.
And we can start with where he actually stole the election.
Talking about stealing elections.
Cut number 9.
Cut number 9, stolen election.
My friends, we offer a starkly different version and vision of this country. A vision
that's
of a
for sure.
better America.
That's
within our reach. That's within our hands. If we just vote. If we elect 2 more senators, we keep the House and Democrats. We're going to get a lot of unfinished business. We're going to get done.
Pause it.
Folks, look.
Wait. What? What was that? Rob, can you roll that back about 15 seconds? What did he just say there? There's 2 senators, and we're going to get a lot done.
I think you'll find throughout this speech he has a difficult time seeing the teleprompter.
No question. And here's the thing. Get some glasses! Or if you don't want to look old, you're worried about your image, put some contact lenses in your stupid head. Come on. What are you doing? I don't understand the I can't see thing. If it's cataracts, well, they would have taken that out and put in permanent lenses, and he could see again.
I don't know that he can have that, though. Thanks to his eye strokes that he's had in the past.
Oh, I wonder. Maybe that's true. Maybe he can't wear contacts. Glasses. You ever heard of them? Eyeglasses. What they do is they sharpen the focus on words and things. Yeah. Yeah. It's an amazing concept.
It is.
It really is. And he goes through this every time. It's not like it's just once in a while. It's every time. Either his mind is muddled where he can't speak, he doesn't know what he's saying, he loses his train of thought, or he just can't see the teleprompter, and they've got it in huge font, right in front of his face.
I searched, and I found a shot of the teleprompter from last night. It needs to be bigger, A. And B, every clip, if you pay attention to the ones we play today, he's struggling and really, really, really focusing on that teleprompter.
All right, let's see what it was, if we can decipher what he said here.
We just vote.
Okay. Just vote.
If we elect 2 more senators, we keep the House and Democrats. We're going to get a lot of unfinished business. We're going to get done. Folks, look.
Folks, look.
Yeah.
Folks, look. And that's a definitive restart of a sentence. So I'm making sense now.
Yeah.
Folks, look. Okay.
Now he goes on to. I believe he goes on to admit he stole the election.
Let's hear it.
We'll codify Roe v. Wade.
Oh yeah, he has to tell us this first. What about
unreal
assault weapons?
We'll ban assault weapons.
Oh, gonna ban them. Okay.
We'll protect Social Security and Medicare. We'll pass universal pre-K. We'll restore the child care tax credit. We'll protect voting rights. We'll pass election reform and make sure no one ever has the opportunity to steal an election again.
Oh, like he just did.
I'm taking that as he admitted that he stole the election.
He stole the last one. So now that I've stolen an election, I'm going to make sure nobody can do it again.
Yeah.
What else was he saying there?
I don't know.
That's what he was saying.
That's what I got from it.
Unless, is he going back to 2016? Maybe. Is that what you're trying to do? You're going back to 2016 and saying that election was stolen. So now you are promoting the stolen election theory, but it's completely inappropriate and outrageous for Republicans to say anything about it. God,
okay.
Geez, these people are just the biggest hypocrites on the face of this planet. Day after day.
I know.
Wow.
I know. You want to continue from Maryland?
Yes.
I mean, we can go back. Let's talk about cut number 5 for climate deniers.
Yeah, let's do that. For decades, climate deniers have blocked meaningful progress. All right, let's hear it.
We also had to take on the climate deniers. And guess what? We beat them. We beat them. For decades.
Oh, my gosh, I hate this guy.
These climate deniers block any meaningful progress in dealing with climate crisis.
There's more because I want to win you over.
But not this year.
All right.
This year, the American people won, and the climate deniers lost.
Look at his distaste, his disgust.
And consequently, we're
for
taking the
half
most aggressive
of the American people.
Climate crisis ever. $368 billion.
Shut up! I can't take it.
Well,
I can't.
You want to talk about? I mean, he goes on at one point talking about unity and stuff, but that was after you play cut number 8.
Cut number 8 goes something like this.
What's happened is there are not many real Republicans anymore.
Oh my!
By the way,
oh my! All that is holy. Oh
he's
my
a Republican
gosh.
you can deal with.
Oh my!
We disagree. No, I'm serious.
No.
At least he's within the mainstream of the Republican Party.
Who did he mention?
I respect conservative Republicans.
Maryland governor.
I don't respect these MAGA Republicans.
Wow. Again, this is the uniter right here.
That's right.
This is Mr. Uniter.
That's right.
We need to bring the country back together. And here he is. He doesn't respect the MAGA people.
Oh, they're a threat to the country.
Everybody who voted for Trump, you don't respect them.
They're a threat to the country. Play cut 14.
Jeez.
Please. Cut 14.
MAGA country threat. MAGA.
We're not going to let anyone or anything tear America apart.
Wait, stop for just a second. We're not going to let anyone or anything tear America apart, but
he's just been doing
you people. That. I hate you people.
Yeah, he's just been tearing Americans apart.
All right, go ahead.
All right. From the top again. If we could, please.
We're not going to let anyone or anything tear America apart. I'll close with this.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a serious moment in our nation's history. The MAGA Republicans don't just threaten our personal rights and economic security. They're a threat to our very democracy.
In the hell?
We
don't have a democracy.
people.
They're a threat to our
very democracy.
Political violence.
Which is fine because we don't have one.
They don't believe in democracy.
No, we
This is
don't.
why in this moment,
That part is true.
those of you who love this country, Democrats, Independents, mainstream Republicans, we must be
I can't take it
more
with the
determined,
mainstream
more
Republican
committed
thing.
to
Okay,
saving America.
I got it. Shut up. I can't. Wow. In a party that has no there's no discernible difference between the Democrat Party and the Communist Party USA. There's no discernible difference. Go ahead and go to the websites and check it out and see the platforms. I'll say it again. Joe Biden was so acceptable to the Communist Party that they didn't run a candidate.
That's such an awesome. I mean, it's not awesome at all for the country, but
not for the country, but it shows you the extremism in the Democrat Party. It shows you they're not real Democrats. They're not mainstream Democrats anymore. They are communists. And to the degree that the Communist Party doesn't even have to run a candidate, they just endorse the Democratic candidate, which they did in 2020. I mean, come on.
No.
But it's Republicans who are extremists. It's Republicans you can't recognize. Huh. Wow.
So, I mean, he goes on to bash Ted Cruz and Marjorie Taylor Greene a little bit about Social Security. He talks about how some of the Republicans want to vote on Social Security and Medicare every 5 years, Pat.
No, wow. What, privatizing it?
Bastards.
Yeah, because if you privatized it, it would actually become a legitimate fund for people's retirement. Because right now we're going to run out of that money. They've already raided that fund and spent that money and spent us into oblivion. So really, Social Security is not there for most people who are going to wind up in just a few years that are going to wind up looking for those benefits.
Right.
They're going to be gone. Now, if you privatized it, maybe something could be done. Maybe it could be invested better. Maybe if you're responsible for your own fund, you'd pay a little more attention to it. And it would be a little more well-managed. But let's see what he has to say.
But I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about what they're doing.
He's not joking. He's not joking.
It's all there in black and white. He wants to require Congress to vote on the future of Social Security every 5 years. So every 5 years, Congress can vote to change, cut, reduce, or entirely eliminate Social Security.
No.
How does that make you feel?
Pause it for a second. Nobody's talking. I don't know one Republican who's talked about eliminating Social Security.
Pat,
and by the way,
it's black and white.
It's not Social Security. It's Social Security. Jeez. Oh, this guy's agonizing. But yeah, he just lies.
Yeah,
he just lies. Nobody's talking about eliminating Social Security. Everybody knows that, yes, it's a socialist program. It should not be there, but we've counted on it now for 70 years, and there's no going back at this point. There's no going back. Nobody's ever going to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to run on this platform. We're going to eliminate Social Security. No one would ever get elected that way, even a Republican, because...
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Republican, Democrat, everybody wants their Social Security. So they just lie. They just lie.
It's just that simple.
And let's see.
I don't know. Let's move on. No, it's not it, because he goes on and talks about, do you want your Social Security in the hands of Ted Cruz and Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Ted Cruz, yes.
I think I do.
Yeah, I really do.
I think my answer to that is yes.
Yeah, why not?
But then, as long as we, we'll just make this we'll get rid of this whole Biden entourage. He talks about how MAGA Republicans don't have a clue about the power of women. Cut 7.
Oh, wow.
The court, in its opinion, used the phrase that women have a right to vote and change this. Well, guess what?
What?
MAGA Republicans don't have a clue about the power of women.
What?
Let me tell you
pause
something.
It. That's a pretty extraordinary comment, since Democrats don't even know what a woman is.
Thank you.
I mean,
thank you.
It just shows you how radical the Democrats are. They won't even define a woman. But it's it's Republicans who have the women problem.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, let's see the rest.
They are about to find out. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The worst. Wow. It's really difficult to watch, isn't it?
Now, there was a heckler in the crowd.
Yes.
For a little bit of relief.
I'm not a fan of because I don't like it when they do this to Republicans. When they're shouting down Republicans or yelling out. And it's not good. Let people do their speech. And the guy.
Boy, do I agree. However, this particular heckler, there's one clip. There's two clips. One clip where you can hear straight out what he's saying, and then another clip where Biden responds to him. Play the first one, cut 12.
And the whole notion of the burn it all down politics of MAGA Republicans continues to be a drumbeat.
You stole the election! You stole it! You stole it, guy! You stole it! You're a pedophile too!
You're a pedophile too.
Let's throw that out there. You're a pedophile too. Now remember, okay, so then that's good enough with that clip. So then
Did they remove him?
Well, yes. There's video of him being removed, and he, giving everybody a thumbs up on his way out through the crowd and takes a bow as he leaves the gymnasium. Really funny. However, after it first happened, when he was done, this next clip, cut 12, or cut 13, you can barely hear what he's saying, but we hear Biden's response.
And the whole notion of the burn it all down politics
You can
of
barely
MAGA
see the
Republicans
too, by the way.
continues to be a drumbeat.
But.
That's all. No. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Let him go.
That's okay.
They're removing him, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Folks.
Let him talk.
Folks.
The worst.
Folks.
Folks.
Yeah.
Ignorance knows no boundaries.
Yeah, neither does dementia.
But we never
Neither
gave
does
in.
senility.
We never gave in.
Man.
That's enough
And
of
we're
it.
delivering.
And I will say, it's just agonizing. And again, I'm with you on not being a huge fan of that. However, it's enjoyable to watch from time to time.
Number 6, Biden and the Inflation Act, reducing the deficit by $300 billion.
I was going to let you bypass that.
Another massive lie.
Guess what? You hear Republicans always talk about the deficit, right? About big spending Democrats. Well, guess what?
What?
When the last guy was president, he increased the debt by $2 trillion in tax cuts. Not a penny of it paid for.
He increased $2 trillion in tax
Pause
cuts.
it. No. Tax cuts don't increase the debt. That's not money that you already have, that you earned through your hard work. That's money that's coming from us that you don't have now because you're just taking less from us. That doesn't increase the debt. Doesn't increase the deficit. That does not. Okay, a tax cut. In fact, a tax cut brings more money into the federal government. It's been proven time after time after time.
But Trump didn't have a plan. So
he's, they just lie. They
just
simply
continue to lie. And he goes on to talk about how much money he's saved the country.
Oh, let's see.
We've reduced the deficit. The Inflation Reduction Act lowers the deficit by $300 billion over the next 10 years. And that's on top of.
That's not all.
On top of
$350 billion I reduced the deficit last year, and the $1.5 trillion reduced it this year.
That's it, baby. How great is that? Now, I don't want to hear anything about COVID anymore either, because when he was leaving last night, we're done. It's over.
Yeah.
The hour's over. We're done. All right, fine.
Some tweets here from Postmaster Jeffy. Wait till that crowd at the rally figures out the defeating the climate deniers means $17 soy lattes and $34 avocado toast.
That's a fact. It'll be too late then.
Too late.
Too late.
Hurricane Pat's experiment tweets, did they green screen the crowd behind him? There's no way that's a live crowd. Looks like a video screen. From Anthony Osh, how much money did he spend to hire all those cheering fans? Hashtag, it's all fake. I don't know. It's a tiny, it's not a big venue.
It's just a high school gymnasium.
Yeah. It's, what do high school gyms hold?
A couple thousand maybe? Yeah.
Two? And from Peekapool, the snarky jackhole Pokemon, Pat seems to be getting exponentially more angry with each clip.
Increasing exponentially. Top 1% and 2% have done exponentially better.
Well, corporate profit has been up over exponentially.
Their profits have come up exponentially.
It's going to be up exponentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I noticed you skipped the tweet from Joe Biden, our president, tweeted last night. In 2020, 81 million Americans voted to save our democracy.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why Donald Trump isn't just a former president. He's a defeated former president. Now you need to vote and save democracy again. So I thought we saved it, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought we didn't have it in the first place. How do you save something that we don't have?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So a couple things that we were going to get to before I walked all over the break at the bottom of the hour. One, he's had trouble seeing the teleprompter. I was concerned to see how big the teleprompter was. I could only find one video of someone with their phone scanning the crowd, and you can just make out the teleprompter. It does need to be bigger. I will say that. If you watch this video here, this lady scans it right there. It's just that it frees it right there at that one. No, yeah, right there. You see, that's the teleprompter and where it's at from the stage. I would say that's pretty large font on that screen.
But that's gigantic font.
But it needs, I would say, how about...
Look, he's almost 80. And I've, had vision problems myself.
Me too. Me too.
But come on, they got to figure something out.
Yes, they have to, because he can't. You see, or during every clip, he's struggling to make it out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know what the fix is. Well, I mean, I do.
Getting rid of him is the fix.
I think that's the fix I was looking for. And we know now that Jill has tested positive for COVID again. But yet last night,
so they both had the rebound COVID.
And yet last night, at this fundraiser, here's Joe. I mean, the crowd's there, but here's Joe at the end walking through the crowd. Look at the masks and the social distancing and making sure that everybody's okay. Now, he is fist bumping.
I see one person with a mask on.
That's it. One lady. Two ladies. The two ladies that are together there at the bottom.
There's one right there.
The two. And that's it. But I don't want to hear another word about COVID. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, look at that close contact. You could get all manner of disease from
You could get all kinds of stuff from that crowd.
Walking through like that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We act that way too. I don't pay attention to the COVID situation anymore. But they're the ones who are continually telling us.
That's right.
Wear the mask. Socially distance. Don't shake hands with people. Wash your hands all the time.
Vaccine works.
He just had COVID twice. And he lives with a woman who's got it again now. So he's been exposed. How do we know he's not giving everybody in that frame COVID-19? We don't. These people are just... They're evil.
And these are the same people, or at least, the same country that's not letting your boy play in the U.S. Open.
Oh, Djokovic?
Yeah. Sorry.
Novak Djokovic.
Sorry.
Has dropped from number 1 in the world to number 6 now because he can't play in any tournaments. Any of the majors, they're banning him because he's not vaccinated.
Not vaccinated.
Are you really worried about that at this point? Seriously, do we have to do that to him at this point? Keep the guy from, and I'm sure he's not hurting, wondering where his next meal is coming from.
That's not the point.
But that's not the point. He should be able to ply his trade and
especially
earn a living.
We've loosened up all our restrictions.
Right. Yeah,
especially in this country.
Yes.
We've loosened up all restrictions.
No reason to keep the guy out of the tournament.
Silly. Just silly.
If you're concerned about it, these two people are at opposite ends of the court to begin with.
Is that more than being social? This is by 6 feet.
We're fine on the social distance front.
Could be touching.
Don't
the same
touch
ball.
it. Maybe you make a rule where he doesn't touch they don't shake hands at the end of the match.
Or they touch.
Or they
nobody touches
bump
the tennis.
fists.
Right. No. The only time you touch the tennis ball is when you serve.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't spread that way anyway. Pretty much. For the most part, it doesn't spread from surfaces.
Working for Pfizer now.
No, the CDC, who goes back and forth on that continually.
Yeah, I know, but you're right. I mean, originally they did say this surface transfer was possible, and then they were like,
not really.
Not really.
Yeah,
all you people were freaking out.
1 in
Just don't worry
10,000
about
chance you get it from a surface. Oh, well, I'm pretty good with those odds.
No doubt.
Jeez. So yeah, again, Jill has the Rona, and there he is in the middle of everybody in that rally. Bizarre.
Really bizarre.
That you don't even give thought to that. They don't even care about appearances because they're never held to the their
that's true.
feet are never held to the fire. So they just do what they want and act accordingly. All right, let me tell you about preborn. We are finally celebrating the fact that Roe versus Wade has been overturned because that was responsible. That opened the floodgates for 63 million babies to be killed over the last 50 years. So now, of course, has it stopped abortion? No. Hopefully it will help. It will save some babies. But with the decision left in the hands of the states like California, they're trying to codify it in their constitution. In the California Constitution, and they have every right to do that. So abortion will continue. And that's where preborn comes in. They've positioned their clinics in the top abortion cities where 50% of them take place. So their work saving babies must continue. And their work protecting their workers must continue as well because they're under fire. So please, if you could consider a gift of really any size, $5, $10, $50, $100, whatever it is you can afford, all gifts are tax deductible and go towards saving babies and helping keep preborn centers safe so they can continue their life-saving work. So, to donate, dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Speaking of abortion, we have Beto O'Rourke, who is trying desperately to become Texas's next governor. And I don't think he has a chance at that.
No way.
I mean, Abbott's 5 or 7 points up, but that's surprisingly little. That's just a little too.
I just feel like that. I feel like that's Texas. Just go ahead and work for it a little bit.
It's just too close. But yeah. Anyway, here was Beto on abortion.
As governor of Texas, would you allow for any restriction on abortion, including an up to partial birth abortion?
Here's the way that I approach this issue.
So yes or no? Yes or no?
Listening to Dr. Barelli.
Which you'd like to have the reporters say.
These extraordinary women who have just shared their stories. I trust women and their doctors to make their decisions.
You trust
about
women.
their body, about their health care, and about their future. I think that is the best, smartest, most constitutional, most American, most Texan approach to this issue. And that's the way that I'm approaching it.
In other words, yeah, I support abortion on demand for any reason.
Pretty much.
Abortion on demand for any reason at any time during the pregnancy. They could be giving birth, doesn't matter. I trust a woman. Hey, you know what? I just decided I don't want this baby. Okay, we trust you.
We trust
let's
you.
kill the baby. It's unconscionable. It's evil. What do you mean you trust women? And that's their big fallback now. I trust women.
I trust
Do you? Yeah. Do you? Why? For one thing, you don't know these women. You just automatically, blindly trust all women?
Right.
Huh.
And they talk about how I saw what was the report? It was here in Texas that because the Texas law is in effect now, right? Where there's no abortions. I know it's being fought in court and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's up and running.
Yeah.
As of yesterday. And so now the argument is, I can't make a choice. I don't have a choice anymore. Well, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Make the choice at the beginning with conception. Don't conceive. How about that? Start there, maybe.
You do have a choice.
You do have a choice. And even once you get pregnant, you have that choice. You could carry the baby to term and give it up for adoption if you don't want it. I mean, there's so many different ways to handle this other than killing the child. But that's the only thing they'll consider.
It sure is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Anything else is, destroying their rights. None of us have the right to take human life. None of us do. You can take human life in defense of yourself and your family. But just killing a child, no, that's not a right that we have. I'm getting so sick of hearing that they've lost their rights. That's never been a right. There's never a right to kill a human being.
Does it say that anywhere that we're not supposed to do that? Anywhere?
I guess not.
Is there anywhere that it says we're not supposed to do that?
Maybe I've just dreamed it. But it does seem like in a couple of places, that has been codified. That thou shalt not kill.
Whatever.
It's such an easy argument. Nobody ever throws it back in their face like that, though.
No.
And they dare not go on any show or interview with anybody who would challenge them like that.
No, and right. And, obviously, between the lines of Beto's answer, the answer is yes. And I would love to have the reporter go, wait, excuse me, Beto, yes or no? Just answer the question.
Yeah,
please.
And he did answer the question, yes. He did.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm for abortion on demand at any time.
I believe in the...
I trust women. Oh. All right.
Okay.
That's like saying, I trust all people to decide whether or not they're going to kill somebody at any time. I trust people. I let them make that decision on whether or not they're going to take a life.
Okay.
Like, maybe Beto trusts me that I'm not going to kill you. And that's just misplaced trust.
It is?
Because that could happen at any time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to the audience now, not me.
No, I'm talking to you.
Directly?
Directly to you.
That's misplaced trust? All right.
It's just asinine, though. Just asinine. Speaking of which, do we have that? I think it's a state senator in New York who won her primary. And she's addressing the crowd.
I don't know.
Hopefully we have that. Do we have that still? It was, I think, on yesterday's list, Rob. But the woman who's yelling about socialism, really amazing video that proves again what Glenn has said, that they're just going to take the mask off. Oh, my gosh, have they taken the mask off. They're so proud of it. This woman is gleeful about socialism and is proud of it and can't wait to tell everybody. Maybe we don't have it anymore, but
I'm sure we can find it. I have not heard, so they're busy scrambling to see if they have it. It wasn't.
So
might have been the day before yesterday.
Might have been, but it was sometime this week we had her. Anyway, she's screaming about how it proves now that because she won her primary, that socialism can win in America.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they don't care because they think they're beyond it now. And they're proud of it. They're proud of being socialists. And they can't hide it anymore. They're just bursting to tell somebody about it.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for sure. They all just want to lay it out there for you. I mean, it's just nothing. The government should run your lives, period. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a nice day.
Absolutely. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Yesterday, we talked about the cost of this new bill that they've passed, and the executive order. What even is it on the student loan thing?
Yeah, it's an order.
Not a bill.
It's an order. No, it's an executive order that he's using some old bill.
Okay, in order
to make it right. Yeah.
So people were throwing out figures: 250 billion, 300 billion, 350. Now they're saying, it's more like $500 billion,
give or take.
$500 billion, and that's saving us money, Joe. Okay. Then we have people like this veteran, Johnny Jones, who reacted to Biden's plan to cancel student debt. He said, "I cannot believe I gave 2 legs for my tuition," referring to the fact that, the price he paid while serving as a U.S. Marine to have his college paid for. What a dope I am. Hoorah. So this man, that really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? No matter what the cost is of forgiving this debt, here's a guy who, to go to college, joined the military, served his country, lost both legs in the war, and now he looks around and sees everybody just having their debt forgiven.
Yeah.
What do you tell him?
Shut up.
That's exactly what they're
Quit
telling
your
him.
whining. You got a college degree. We appreciate the time you served in the military. Mm-hmm. Shut up.
Yep.
That's what they're telling everybody. That's what Joe Biden, he thinks it. Nobody likes it. No. Nobody's happy about it. It's either not enough or it's too much. And it's insane to think that someone gets to take out a loan for something and have somebody else pay for it, no matter what it is. It's just insane. It's insane. So what do I say to that guy? Shut up.
And that's exactly what the administration is telling him, too. Shut up. 888-933-93. I guess Rob found the,
we have the
socialist clip. We'll play that for you coming up.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Couple of tweets here. Sasquatch Cougar fan. First Biden, now Beto. You really know how to get my anger fueled this morning. How about something else to discuss, like BYU football? That's a really good idea, actually.
It's not a bad idea.
8 days away from the opening game for BYU versus South Florida. Should be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. At Raymond James. Awesome.
Tomorrow, Northwestern and Nebraska link up in Dublin. That's right. So that kind of gets the football season started, gets the juices flowing.
You have to say that the game happens in Dublin when you think Northwestern and Nebraska matching up.
Dublin, Ireland, don't you?
Immediately.
Tradition dictates that that's where your mind goes, right there. Also tomorrow, so exciting, Artemis, the Artemis
Monday,
launch.
Right? Artemis goes up Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 29th.
They rolled it out it's on the pad.
That's a big rocket. Apparently, it's the world's most powerful. And so they're going to launch. This is the Artemis program. Remember the Apollo and Mercury and Gemini? There were all those. Now this is Artemis. And Artemis 1 will orbit the moon for a couple of weeks.
I thought they were going to fly right into it.
No, they're not going to fly into it. What would be the point of that exactly?
I don't. That's why I was concerned.
Well, you needn't be now because they're actually going to orbit. Now, I don't know if at the end of the orbit they smash into the moon.
Okay, see?
I don't know why they do that, but it's a little anticlimactic to me because been there, done that.
Right.
Show me something we haven't done.
But we've got to look, there's plenty of, there's fights now on who owns the moon, right?
Yeah.
And it's clear that the United States of America owns the moon. The moon is ours.
Whose flag is up there? Whose flag?
Period.
Yes, our flag.
No one has ever signed that, that world bill that they always like to trot out. That the moon is everyone's. Any country, I don't think any. I don't know that any country actually signed that thing, but I think for sure the major countries that have space programs did not sign that the moon belongs to everyone. From the UN, because we know that the United States the moon is ours.
Yeah.
Okay. Period. Move on.
We earned it fair and square in 1969. Okay. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Yeah, that was us. So yes, we lay claim to the moon. Whose flag is planted there?
Thank you.
It's not Russia or China's. It's ours. So, 12 people went to the moon? 12 Americans went to the moon.
Right.
They weren't from India. They weren't from Shanghai. They were from the United States of America.
I know. I agree, but we're talking about using it in the future. That's what they want to use it as a launch pad
to Mars,
right? Yeah.
Right. When we take that little jaunt. It's not exactly Star Trek-like, though. It's going to take us, what do they estimate, 6 months, I think, to get to Mars. Whereas on Star Trek, it'd take about 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're still having issues with, it's cloudy, we can't take off. I freaking hate that so much.
I do too.
I hate it so much.
I do too. And I hate it that we have to make this big deal out of going back to the moon. Right, we were already there. Move past that.
Let's go.
Although they are using this as the launch pad for Mars. Because I guess we're going to build a permanent thing there.
Right.
And this is the first step toward making a little permanent arrangement on the moon.
All right. That's
I think
fine.
it's cheaper and it's faster when you launch from the moon than Earth.
Yeah.
So.
Which is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Good. But you're right. I think that we should make the deal should not be, the deal should be more, hey, isn't it great we're building our launch pad to Mars rather than going to the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I agree with that, yeah.
It would definitely. Had we kept on our space trajectory from the late 60s, early 70s, we would have been to Mars, I don't know, by 1980 maybe? We would have gotten to Mars a long time ago.
Sure felt that way.
Let's say by 1990, we could have gotten to Mars. By 2000, certainly by 2020, you've gotten to Mars. Nope.
No.
Nope.
I know.
So this is obviously, I don't know if we mentioned, it's an unmanned rocket that's heading towards the moon on Monday. So the first manned mission that lands on the moon again is scheduled for 2025 right now. So 3 years down the road.
What are we doing?
That's what I'm saying.
What are we doing?
What
is this rock? Seriously, I honestly thought men were going to be in there because I haven't read about it much.
No, it's unmanned.
I haven't read about the Artemis deal because I really am. I'm with you on the. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to the moon, big deal. But I honestly thought we were going to, throw a couple of people on there for the ride.
Nope.
Then what are we doing?
It's like a drone.
Seriously, we're just taking it up and flying around the moon?
Sending a drone to the moon is what we're basically doing.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Holy cow.
I don't get it, but that's what we're doing.
I mean, I guess maybe the argument could be made that we're flying the drone around the moon to make sure that, to point out, hey, that's where we're going to build. That's what we're going to do. Kind of map it out a little bit, I guess, but that should have already been done. Right? I mean,
yeah. They already have the potential landing sites.
Right.
I guess this will be a closer look at them, but I don't know. You remember how excited everybody was about the space shuttle at first? In 81, when we first launched the space shuttle, it was really cool. By about this, third launch, we're like, wait, there's another shuttle up there?
I will say, I lived in Florida for most of that time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, after a while, it's like, hey, the shuttle's going off. You walk out in the parking lot. Yep.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
There it is. Okay.
Let's go.
Back to work. I know. We get bored with things that we've already done, which is why, this moon thing. Nobody's even talking about it, really. Is anybody talking about the Artemis you just mentioned? You hadn't read much about it.
I see the headlines, and I knew it was coming. I knew they rolled out. I see the photos on social media when it rolled out to the pad. And, I see Bill Nelson's mug slapped on a couple of headline stories about NASA. But I thought,
yeah, been there.
I had to go on the moon. That's
done
great.
that.
What's Elon up to?
All right, 888-900-3393. Something else that's back in the news a little bit is the diary of Ashley Biden.
Yeah.
This is an interesting story. National File obtained what a whistleblower has identified as a copy of the complete diary of Ashley Blazer Biden. She's 39, And I guess she's okay with her dad now, but there's some interesting things that are contained in that diary, apparently.
Absolutely.
One of which is that she says, was I molested? I think so. I can't remember specifics, but I do remember trauma. And then she lists potential incidents, one of which might have included her cousin Carolyn Biden, as she remembers being somewhat sexualized alongside a person named Carolyn.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means it was Caroline who sexualized her, or if they were both sexualized by somebody else. Then she writes that she remembers showers with my dad that were probably not appropriate. Yeah, probably not. Don't give me that. Well, can't.
Oh, I just said.
No.
If
Come
you
on.
believe it.
And I do. Why? What reason do I have to doubt it?
Well, we don't, really. We don't have any reason to doubt it.
The way he acts, we've got every reason to believe it. So this won't be anything uncomfortable for Biden, though, because nobody's going to ask about it. I'll bet even Peter Doocy doesn't ask about it. Nobody's going to bring it up. He doesn't have to worry about any rumors spreading, because if you mention it on Twitter, you're going to get canceled.
Yeah,
so,
right. And the people who have it, tried to sell it to everybody.
Yeah,
I love the story.
They only got $40,000 for it.
I love the story behind that too. Is they took it to make money. What else do you steal things for? Shut up. Of course they took it to make money. I mean, you steal things either because you like it and you're going to keep it,
right,
or you're going to turn around and sell it for money.
Rarely do you see they stole it to help the poor.
Oh, their goodness of their heart. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's just incredible. So they tried to pawn it off. I guess they were staying at her house, and they did take it. I did like the wording of what they were they were charged with, though, and it was just like a really strange thing. Like it was stealing something from a government official that was gonna be a government president or something. It was really weird, and I thought, okay. All right, fine. I mean, they for sure did not want anyone to have this diary. No question, because they said that they tried to pawn it off on Trump. Trump told them to take it to the FBI. Project Veritas bought it and never published it.
They're the ones that paid the couple who stole it. They paid him $40,000 for it.
I thought
$20,000 apiece.
$20,000 each, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's really strange. And they got it back, right? And I wish I could find this. They pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property from an immediate family member of a former government official who was running for national office. What?
That's pretty specific.
It sure is.
We've got a law for that specific
That's what
instance.
I mean.
Okay.
I mean, all
right.
What?
Jeez.
And they stole it to make money. Okay.
Who would ever believe that?
I know.
So after declaring, Ashley Babbitt, that is in her diary, that she was here for sexual trauma in the previous entry on page 23 of her diary, dated January 30th, 2019, she explores the topic of sexual abuse and how it may have led to her overactive sex drive.
Right. Yeah, she's had some problems. I mean, look, the Biden family, Hunter and Ashley, have had serious issues with a number of sexual activities and drugs over the years. And it's interesting. It's
really?
Interesting.
Like, who else could fit that description that you just outlined? I mean, in the Biden family.
Okay,
we're talking
Biden
Ashley
family
here, but who else is
I
there?
thought you were talking about me because I was like, yeah, I got it. I'm with you.
No, I'm thinking in the Biden family.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens.
The guy who can't stop taking pictures of his unit. The guy who has video of him doing blow off the stomach of hookers.
I'm a fan. I mean, that's terrible. That's what I meant. It's terrible.
What a family.
Oh, my gosh.
What a wonderful first family we have.
Just terrible. Just terrible.
Speaking of family, I'm sure you consider your dog part of your family, right? And you want the best for your dog, and you can give it to him with Rough Greens. Rough Greens is a dog food supplement you sprinkle on top of the dog's food. My dog, Belle, loves it so much she wouldn't eat her food unless you sprinkled the Rough Greens on top of it. She'd look at it like, all right, you're not done. Where's my Rough Greens? And then if you put it on there, then she just gobbles that stuff down. Now, it also is really good for your dog because it has vitamins and minerals and probiotics, antioxidants, pretty much everything you need to see your dog get healthy and active and happy again. Now, Rough Greens wants to be sure that you're not wasting your money, so they're going to send you a free bag of it to make sure your dog loves it as much as my dog does. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFF Greens, roughgreens.com, or 833-783-3364. Couple of tweets for you. From Jimmy Dimples, is Ashley Biden the white sheep of the Biden family, if there is one? I'm a lickin' butter. Joe McKellar, at Joe McKellar, tweets, we have to know for certain that the moon is round. Trump took all the moon landing documents to Mar-a-Lago. That explains a lot, doesn't it?
It does. It does explain a lot.
Rowdy Introvert, the charges in the Ashley Biden diary case are approximately 732% more specific than the details in the Mar-a-Lago raid warrant.
We're going to see those today, though, right?
Supposedly, I thought it was going to be yesterday.
Now, the judge looked at it yesterday and said they got to do it by noon today. The redacted version.
We'll see. It's going to be too redacted to get anything out of it.
Yeah, look at how much we learned.
Yeah, whoa. A lot like the UFO thing.
Right.
Pick a pool, the snarky jackhole Pokemon. I think Jeffy has more of a claim to the moon than anyone, due to getting stuck between it and New York City.
That's funny.
It is, isn't it? I'm glad you appreciate it too. That's great.
I'm sorry.
That's great. You like that?
I didn't have the proper paper from the Mar-a-Lago search warrant.
Oh, there it is.
Go. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to get. That's what we're going to get.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we'll get. We promised to play you that socialism video from the state senator in New York who had just won her primary, and she was a little excited. Here's what she said.
I know we're saving the speeches for a little later, but today we really proved that socialism wins.
Socialism wins. Oh, that's great that we proved that. See, they just don't care anymore. They don't care.
That's amazing.
Couple of things contribute to that. First, they're confident, I think, that there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Secondly, they're just so damn proud that they're socialists because they think, that's somehow superior.
Right.
Despite all evidence to the contrary. And the third thing, I completely forgot. I just had a Joe Biden moment. Well, look.
The third thing I have to ask is, does she really know what socialism means?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I would like to ask her that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it means we're all together for the same thing.
Hey, and you know what? When socialism wins, are you aware that people die by the millions?
Oh, no. We're together.
No. That's socialism. They just didn't do it right. This is America. We'll do it right. Okay. All righty.
We're tying into democracy.
Which is why
are you?
They keep claiming that. That's why they keep claiming that we're a democracy.
Absolutely.
All right. George Foreman's in a little bit of trouble.
He
apparently.
Is.
It's one of those things where this happened a couple of weeks ago. Well, okay, no. It was like last year at this time, I think. No, wait. I'm reading that incorrectly. It was in the early 2000s. No, wait.
No, it was not in the early 2000s.
It's
next guess.
50 years old, almost 50 years old.
Yeah,
45, 50, somewhere in there. With these two girls who claim that he groomed them and had sex with them when they were very, very young.
Yes, he was in his 20s. He was still. He was. I think he was the champ then.
Might have been heavyweight champion of the world.
And they claim that he groomed them and had sex with them, starting at the age of 13 until they got too old for him at 16.
Yeah.
And the one girl said that he threatened her father's job. Her father worked for him at the time. At least one of them. At least one of them did. And he threatened, if she said anything, that he would fire her dad. Now, George has vehemently denied this 100%. From the very beginning, from the start of this, because the two girls, he claims, and he had issued a statement about a month ago that two women were trying to extort $12.5 million from him each. And he said, how about no? And so
they sued him for double
now they're
that
taking
amount.
him to court. Right. They're using the California case. That's what got Bill Cosby, what they've used against Cosby. They brought up these old cases that they passed in 2020, I think, or maybe 2021. Maybe
and the
last
pain
year.
and suffering, of the last 50 years has been such that they can't function, so they deserve the $50 million they're suing for.
Well,
don't you agree?
They could barely get through the last 45 years.
Okay, if it happened, let's say it happened in 1975. You couldn't say something about it in 1980? Okay. How about 1985? 1990? We're 15 years down the road. Maybe you mention it now. How about 2000, 2010, 2020? They wait all this time, and then all of a sudden, they're traumatized.
Well, they've been traumatized the whole time. Don't dismiss their trauma.
All right. They just dealt with it, and now they don't want to anymore?
Right. Well, it was the power dynamic until today.
Okay.
Until today.
So initially, the power dynamic was that he was heavyweight champion of the world, and they were just little girls.
I didn't want my dad to lose his job.
Yeah. Then over time, he became the George Foreman grill guy. And I guess that was
he's worth a lot of money.
You can't challenge the grill guy.
I mean, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars.
He's worth $300 million.
Yeah.
But what? You're just getting around to noticing that now? What is going on here that they waited all this time and now suddenly?
Yeah. I don't understand. I mean, George is going to fight it, obviously, but it's still it's a shame. Look. If it happened, which I highly doubt, but if it happened, it should be.
Well, he
responsible
deserves.
for it.
Yes,
he
deserves to be in jail if it happened. But I don't believe it happened. I don't believe you wait all this time and now suddenly I got to deal with it and accuse him.
I got to tell you though, Pat. Now that we're talking about it out loud, it's bringing back some memories of me and George Foreman.
Really?
Yeah. And George
did he
groomed and sexually assaulted me as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he really?
In 1976.
Wow. He assaulted me in 1842. And until about 10 minutes ago, I'd forgotten about it.
Me too. And I can barely go on.
And I don't want to
solve that.
I don't want to minimize what happened to if it did happen.
I know.
It's just that I completely doubt that it did happen. I don't believe it because I think you'd mentioned it before now.
Absolutely.
Let's say you couldn't do it at the time. You're a teenage girl. That's understandable.
Sure.
When you get into your 20s, okay, come on. Let's have it now.
And maybe there's I'm sure now their father who worked for him has passed away. So you got nothing there.
Possibly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got nothing there. You have maybe some friends that say, "Oh yeah, she talked about that before over tea." She would say, "That damn George Foreman."
Well, as you're grilling your burgers on the George Foreman grill,
right?
It reminds you that that's right. I had sex with this guy when I was 15.
Could you even have a George Foreman grill in your home?
Probably not. It's too traumatic.
Right.
Too traumatic. So okay.
I used to love my George Foreman grill when it first came out, man.
You don't have it anymore?
No.
I
have a wife.
No, that's true. All right, 888-930. It's just hard to believe about
it.
George.
Sure is.
We both have met him several times, and he's such a good guy. Now, he was different in the 70s.
I know.
But he does deny it vehemently.
Yes, he does.
Even so. All right, More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. A week from today, the Lord of the Rings series debuts. Is it on? I think it's on Amazon. So to celebrate that fact, Kexi Cookies is releasing a Lord of the Rings cookie that is incredible. It's a lembas bread honey pistachio cookie with a cream filling. Oh, so good. And it debuts today. You can get it at Kexi.com, KEKSI.com.
I'd like to be able to say I agree, but there.
No, I do have some.
Not one here.
I actually do have some samples.
I'm just saying I haven't tasted it.
I'm not giving any to
I'd like to give you a little.
But I do have some samples.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you give it to me?
Because you're babbling about it again.
Listen, aside from zoos, no one supports Kexi Cookies more than me.
Aside from zoos.
Aside from zoos. I mean,
okay. You support zoos more than you support Kexi Cookies.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
All right.
But I support Kexi Cookies more than anyone.
Now, it may be that you find yourself in possession of a Kexi cookie today.
Okay, good.
We'll see.
Thank you.
We'll see if it. Do you like pistachios?
I will today.
Yeah? Okay.
I do, actually, yeah.
Honey pistachio with a cream filling in it. Plus, all the other great flavors that are so delicious. Kexi.com. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Ron DeSantis had some things to say about the whole loan forgiveness situation.
Tell me this guy isn't going to run.
I
know he's running for. I know he's running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. He's going to be. He's up against the great Charlie Crist in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe. I mean, he's commenting on so many national.
Well, everything. He comments on everything.
Yeah, he does.
But he makes sense on virtually everything.
Yes, he does.
Here's what he said.
It's very unfair, to have a truck driver have to pay back a loan from somebody that got like a PhD in gender studies. That's not fair. That's not right.
I'm a fan of toll relief too, by the way.
Me too.
And so, and then you also just have the fact, like, if you're going to talk about debt, then you should look at, okay, who has benefited the most from all this exorbitant debt that's been taken out over the last generation?
Mm-hmm.
It's the universities.
Yep.
They have bloated administrative budgets. They have all this, although in Florida, since I've been governor, no tuition increases at our state universities. We haven't allowed that.
Nice.
Because all it does is they plow it in, and they will expand like the DEI office or something else like that, and it has no real impact on the quality of the education.
On the quality of the education.
Yeah. He can't finish a sentence. That's why the guy's never going to win an election.
That's great, though. And he's exactly right. I mean, there's so many problems with this debt forgiveness nonsense. And he's really made no one happy with it. The right doesn't like it because he did it at all. And the left doesn't like it because it wasn't enough for them. They want more. They want more socialism. Also in Missouri, there's a school district that has brought back spanking.
Yeah, capital or corporal punishment.
Corporal punishment. Hopefully not capital.
Not capital.
I'm sorry, you cheated on your test. We're going to have to cut your head off.
We're putting you down.
So place your head right here in the guillotine. And there's no way you should have gotten that many answers right. There's just no way. And we can't tolerate it. So you can't be allowed to live. Okay?
Sorry. Mrs. Johnson? Yeah, he's not coming home.
He's not coming home. Send home a note. Yeah, he cheated on a test, so we cut his head off. He's gone. We lost him. We lost him.
You bring in a note, you can pick up the head.
But even on the spanking thing, I'm going to say, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Because the parents have to opt in. That's part of the deal. The parents have to opt in on it.
Well, I think they opt out. But they are informed, and you can or cannot give your for sure. I would not give my permission. I mean, this is probably where I'm on the other side of the issue from most of our listeners. And, my kids are grown now, so it wouldn't affect them either way. But my thing is, I just don't trust people in the school system, an administrator or a teacher to physically punish my kids. I don't trust you for that. How do I know if... there's too much I disagree with them on in the school system already. I certainly don't want to hand over physical punishment to them.
We've gone from the days of making kids kneel down on pencils and being slammed in their hands with rulers.
Yeah.
And having, my grandfather has told me stories.
Has he?
Back in the day about different classes where, like, the shop, the woodworking class or the metal class would have their paddles hanging on the wall with the holes drilled in it.
The wooden paddle.
Or metal.
Yeah.
And holes drilled in to get that aerodynamic spin to the old paddle.
And that's apparently what they're talking about in this Missouri school district, is that they're going to use wooden paddles like that.
My grandfather's talked about getting hit by them before.
Has he?
Yeah.
And did it leave welts on him?
You remember it. I'll tell you that.
I'll bet you do.
I'll tell you that. And what you did wrong in that class, you don't do it again.
And I'd be wondering, are they hitting my child out of anger? Are they taking out their frustrations on them? Yeah.
Right. What are the parameters?
Could they get carried away?
And is it right? And that's my point. Is that where is their line?
And is there any possible danger that there could be something else going on with the spanking of a child? For instance, this is the photo the Drudge Report used yesterday on the spanking. Okay, so you've got an older student, maybe. I don't know. How old do you think she is? 17, 16, 17, 18 years old?
She told me she was 21.
Okay.
That's all I know.
And she's bent over a desk and being paddled in a miniskirt.
Right.
I think that's a problem.
That is.
Yeah, I think that's a problem.
That is a problem. That's an issue.
So where do you draw the line, and how many of these kinds of situations come up, and who administers it? And I don't know. I don't like it. There's a lot of parents that actually asked for it, I guess.
Yeah,
in Missouri.
I guess so. Yes, they're saying that it's part of the deal, and the administrator or the school superintendent was saying that he didn't ask for it, but it happened on my watch, and so be it.
Yeah, I really didn't spank my kids at home. Why would I want a teacher or administrator to do it at school?
I don't think I would.
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't think I would.
And that probably wasn't an issue. Well, of course we homeschooled, but was it an issue for public schools when your kids were growing up? Did they paddle?
No. No.
But you did say your grandfather got paddled.
Elvis went to mostly private schools. It was still not a problem at all. There was never any of that. Max only went to public school for a few years, and there was no, as a little kid, there was no problem with that. And the rest of the time was all homeschooled, so it really wasn't a problem, no. And by the time it got to the point in high school where you would maybe think of being paddled, are you going to paddle Elvis? No.
6'5", 300 pounds? Probably not.
Not a problem.
No.
I would just leave him be. He's fine.
Leave him be.
But no, that was not. It was never an issue.
Yeah,
it was never an issue.
Because I think for the most part, kind of did away with the physical punishment. quite a while ago. For the reasons I think I outlined.
It happened when we were in school. That's for sure.
Yeah, it did.
Absolutely.
Yes, it did.
100%. My father-in-law actually.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to just paddle them through their pants or dress? Or
my father-in-law actually talks about going to the private Catholic schools in Philadelphia when he was a kid, and he talks about the nuns making them kneel on pencils. And
that stuff is notorious. You hear those stories all the time.
That stuff actually happened.
The nun cracking the ruler over your knuckles. And
he was saying. He was saying. They were mean.
Yeah. I've heard those stories. 888-900-3393. This is an interesting situation as well. There's a nightclub in Sydney, Australia, that has just banned staring.
Good.
Finally. Finally, I'm not going to be used as a sex object.
Thank you. I can go out and just enjoy a drink.
Yes.
I'm so sick
And that's all
of
I
it.
want to do. I just want to go get drunk. I don't want anybody to look at me. So
I don't want to have. Every time I go out, it's like, what are you looking at?
But I love this. They've banned staring without getting verbal consent.
Yeah.
Verbal consent?
I mean, they're adding jobs. They're hiring people to watch out for it.
Hi, you know what? You're really hot. May I stare at you? I can't imagine getting verbal consent.
Awesome. I mean, we're at the.
I mean, I'm willing to even put a timer on it. I'll just stare at you for 3 minutes, starting now. Or do I sign a consent form? I mean, how weird is that?
I mean, we've done bits on this network.
Yes, we have.
We've done bits on this network
we
doing
have.
this stupid thing, and it's all coming true.
And I think getting permission to stare is creepier and worse than staring. Yeah, I think so. Hey, baby, I'm planning to stare at you for a while. Maybe the whole night.
You're looking pretty hot tonight.
How would that be? Is that okay with you? There's no way. It's interesting how everything we've ever known in society is being discarded right now. You know, the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, names are the biggest thing that hurt people now.
Absolutely.
You're offended by something that I've said? Well, then we got to take that completely out of society. And what happened to look but don't touch? Now that's going away too.
That's gone.
I'm
Don't
sorry,
even look.
you can't look
Don't even
or
look.
touch.
I mean, you could look.
No, but not stare. And what constitutes staring? Is it?
Well, they'll have stare. They're hiring extra staring police at the club.
Are they?
That's what they said. They're going to hire people to be on the alert.
They're going to be safety officers in pink vests to make sure that nobody's being stared at.
I mean, that's a good gig. Because the person who's the staring officer, is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
The person who is the crossing guard at this point has got to be staring at everyone to make sure that they're not staring. What are you talking about?
It's so asinine. But they said that they have asked their customers not to show up there if their sole purpose for the night is to meet someone to pick up. Then we don't want you here.
Can
it be a side purpose or a secondary purpose at least? Can it be one of my purposes?
I mean, there in my life and during the days of drinking and doing extracurricular substances, there are places that you go where you want to be left alone and you just want to get drunk and be high and be left alone.
Yeah, do you? You just want to get drunk?
Outside of home. Outside of your home. You just want there are plenty of establishments that you go to and that's the establishment you go to and people go there because they just want to get drunk and they just sit there. It's not a party place, it's not a nightclub. Now, if someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, something could happen, but there are also nightclubs where that's what that nightclub is built for.
Yeah. Well, this nightclub.
You're going there for business. In fact, my nightclub would be called Business.
It's a good name for it. Good name.
I mean, that's what you go there for.
Staring would be okay?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
All right. So weird. I mean, we're just so ridiculous as a society now. But, you know, a lot of people got on social media and said they were all about this. One of them said people want to go out. They want to feel safe. They don't want people chasing after them. The response to it has been extremely positive, according to the manager.
So I just want to get this straight. Okay, so people don't want people chasing after them. That is staring?
I guess so. And in reality, it isn't necessarily. It might be, but it might be you just want to look, but don't touch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I go out to a nightclub and I'm sitting there staring at all the hot males and females, or however they identify, who are dressed however they're dressed. People don't go to these clubs and wear their farmer overalls. which I'm not opposed to, by the way. I'm a fan of farmer overalls, but that's another story. They're out to get people to look at them. Mm-hmm. It makes zero sense. And it doesn't say, you're right, about what the rules are.
Yeah. What constitutes staring?
Yeah.
If I look at you and then I go, whoa, and look back, then is that staring? Is 3 seconds too long?
I don't know.
5 seconds?
How long do I get to look at you before I decide if I want to ask you if it's okay that I look at you?
And how do you know I'm just staring off in the distance? I'm just contemplating something, and it just happens to be you're in my field of vision.
What are you looking at?
But I'm not really
Nothing.
looking at you.
Nothing, right.
Nothing. I'm not looking at anything. So I don't know. It's just, I guess, if you're concerned about it, you just don't go to that club. But it just shows how ridiculous things are getting.
That's for sure. And do you go in at the very beginning of the night and just hop up on the bar and say, hey, I may stare at one or all of you as this night goes on.
Just want you to be aware.
Which one says no? Because then I promise I won't look at you more than 3 seconds. I mean, it's just silly.
It is. It's asinine.
Just silly.
Hard to believe. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Speaking of hard to believe, my son Hunter is coming out.
I was thinking about playing that on OT, but we can do it here. Talk about movies. No problem. I love it.
All right. Here's
I talked to Phelan Mackler. Yeah, they just dropped the trailer yesterday. They had released when it's coming out the first of next month.
Mm-hmm.
You can
in September.
Yes, and you can order it online. It's not going to be at the theaters. You order it online. You can watch it wherever you want to watch it.
And who did
this?
this?
Go to mysonhunter.com. Phelan Mackler and his wife, and Robert Daba is the producer. I mean, it's awesome. He's got some big names in it, and you'll. It's really looks like a fun ride.
Here it is, the trailer, not the actual movie.
So I'll tell you what's going down.
You know who I am.
They told me you were VIP, well connected to the government.
What kind of a moron forgets to pick up his laptop at a repair shop? You're a Biden. Act like one. Everything he built, his life, I just ruined it all. I want to know everything that's on that laptop that can ruin my erection. My friends, it's time to party!
Didn't you know I'm taking control? I'm making appearance and I gotta go, cause I get them dancing with their hands up. Yeah, I walk in and they go bananas. I'm a bad, yeah.
I'm an artist.
And they're cheering my
Tell me how I can help you.
I don't deserve help. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I've been through worse.
You're the smartest man I know. Thanks, Dad. I just wish I could smack some sense into you. I'll never forget Corn Pop. He was a bad dude. No joke. Dad, we were talking about suffering.
I can't seem to find anything but positive stuff on the Bidens.
Who's the point man for the foreign policy in the Obama regime? Joe Biden. So it looks like you need $1 billion.
So the obvious next question is,
Where's Hunter? I can remember getting paid some money, but I can't remember what for. Like my dad says, we never discuss my businesses, period. Or my cut.
what's happening in there? Joe's in on it.
Party's over!
You had everything, Hunter, and you threw it all away. You hope the laptop will take down everybody with you.
Get out! China's not our enemy. They're not bad folks. I love my dad, and I just want to make him proud. I am the one who brings in all the deals. I am the one. Wow. Good boy.
Huh. Somebody had some giblets to make that, didn't they?
No doubt about that.
None of those people are ever going to work again.
Lawrence Fox,
Jeez.
John James,
right? They're all
Gina
done.
Carano. I mean, she's working. She's making stuff with Daily Wire now too, as well. So she is actually working, and Lawrence is will still get work. I mean, hopefully.
Hopefully,
I'm sure he thinks hopefully.
Yeah.
And John James has been. I mean,
that actually looks pretty good, and they used actual quotes from Joe Biden too, all through it. And the left is going to go ape crap over that.
I know.
Oh, they're going to go out of their minds. How dare you do this about a sitting president? You remember the kinds of things you showed about Donald Trump?
Oh, my gosh.
The dreams you had about killing him and all of the things that showed up on film with Donald Trump? Come on now. But they'll be crying foul as soon as that thing's released. So is it next week? Is it next Friday that starts?
Next Wednesday, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it comes out on September 7th, I think.
Oh, okay. That's not next week then. Must be the week after.
September 7th is the week after, yes.
All right.
But I mean,
but they're going to go crazy.
I thought so too. And then I happened to think maybe they just
ignore it.
Because it's not at the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's you can
it's not?
You just download it, you're going to buy it online.
Okay.
And I was thinking about maybe having a Chewing the Fat watch party, but I don't know. It's possible.
Okay.
I'd like to see maybe my son Hunter on these big screens here at Mercury Studios. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but I just maybe they just ignore it. Like maybe it just like it isn't there.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. It's not up against really strong competition at the box office anyway. Again, you don't have to go to the theater for it, but there's not that many really big, really great movies that are competing right now. This is a good time for it to be released.
Right, it sure is. And we had, you talk about not very much competition. The one movie company is filing for bankruptcy, right? Not Cinemark, but the other one. Gosh darn it.
AMC?
And I have that. Maybe it was Cinemark.
Is filing for bankruptcy?
Yeah. Gosh darn it. I thought I had that in this show prep, and I can't find it now.
Huh. I haven't heard that.
Regal.
Oh, okay.
Regal. I don't have the story in front of me, but it's Regal Cinema.
Regal is... They're pretty big.
They got over 500 theaters in the U.S.
Yes, I think they're third or fourth biggest, somewhere in there. And there's some big Regal theaters in the Times Square area in New York.
And so they thought they were going to be saved from COVID. They got some money and they shut down and everything was okay. No. And Top Gun didn't help save them. Sorry, they're going to file for bankruptcy. They're in the hole. So
wow,
we'll see. I mean, are they going to remain open? Probably. Right? I mean, it's going to restructure some debt.
And they've been saying, though, that really the box office is coming back.
Well,
people are going again.
They want it to, but...
And I think to a certain extent, Top Gun was huge.
Yeah.
Top Gun's... Is it the biggest moneymaker ever in North America? I think it is.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's either one or two right now.
Has it made a couple dollars?
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
It's done okay.
It's made over $100.
Tom Cruise will probably be able to make another movie.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, I think he will. It's interesting, too, because he does a little thing at the beginning of the movie where he talks about, hey, thanks for coming to the theater. They tried to get him to release that not only in the theater, but simultaneously on Netflix or Amazon or somewhere else. And he absolutely, unequivocally said, no, you're not doing that. And look what happened as a result.
Yeah.
Kind of worked out for him. All right. Have a great weekend. We will be back here on Monday to do it all over again.
Don't you stare at anybody this weekend.
That's right. Not for longer than 3 seconds.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.